everyone, Mike Rose here again for Intuitive IQ live from the beautiful Terranay Resort. I'm having so much fun doing these things. I'm doing another one. This one is about just Intuitive IQ in general. What is it and why is it so important? Well, very simply, Intuitive IQ is a combination of various forms of intelligence that you use, I use, everyone uses to create success. And why is it so important? Well, if you're not intelligent, if you don't have high levels of these forms of intelligence, you're going to struggle and you're not going to be as healthy and you're not going to be as successful. So what are these forms of intelligence? Well, the forms of intelligence that I have discovered and defined are self-intelligence, emotional intelligence, healing intelligence, health intelligence, perception intelligence, intuitive intelligence, creative intelligence, social intelligence, and strategic intelligence. Yes. Wow, that's a lot of different forms of intelligence. Do we really possess all of them? Yes, we do. We absolutely do. You know, we all know about IQ. IQ is a well-known form of intelligence, but the thing about IQ is fixed. I mean, we're born with the IQ that we're born with. Some of us are brilliant in that way, in that analytical way, in that mathematical way, engineering way, astrophysicist way, and some of us aren't. But the bottom line is whether you have a high IQ or not, your IQ is fixed. It really doesn't change over the course of your life. And so there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, some of us have gifts for certain things and some of us don't with respect to our IQ. But these other forms of intelligence are not fixed. They are far from fixed. They change dramatically over the course of our lives. And these forms of intelligence, if they go up, we become much more healthy and much more able to create success. If they go down, we become more sick and less able to create success. So that's the general, and now I'm going to get into the specific. I see we've got some viewers here. Welcome, everyone. Hopefully you look at me a little bit, or you just check out the view behind me, whatever. I guess as long as you're listening, it's good. I come here for a reason. The views are epic. But anyway, welcome, and we're talking about Intuitive IQ and the 9 forms of intelligence that we use to create health and success. So the first one, self-intelligence, the most important and crucial and primary form of intelligence. What is self-intelligence? Well, it is a combination of your self-esteem and your self-awareness and your self-trust and your self-belief and your understanding of your life purpose. It is what you use to create success for yourself. It's what you use to create health. It is who you are and your belief in yourself and your trust in yourself. Your self-esteem, quite simply is your self-confidence. Do you have confidence or value, as it's generally defined, in your worth and your abilities? Your self-awareness, do you know who you are and what you do and how you do it and why? Your self-trust, you trust yourself to make the right decisions day to day, moment to moment, that are going to enable you to be healthy, enable you to survive, enable you to thrive. Your self-belief, do you believe in your ability to achieve your goals, in your ability to succeed? And life purpose, a lot of people talk about life purpose. Some people believe in it, some people don't. I'll tell you what, if you feel that you understand why you are here and what you are doing with your life, then you are going to be much more empowered and much more focused in the work you do. So that's self-intelligence, the first form of intelligence that we use. Second one, very simply, emotional intelligence, which I define very simply as emotional state of being and emotional control. There's been a lot of books written about emotional intelligence, a lot of things written, very complex things. You know what? If you live in higher emotional states of being, you have high emotional intelligence. If you have excellent emotional control, you have high emotional intelligence. You're going to be healthy and you're going to have a strong ability to create success. But if you live in negative emotional states of being, especially most of the time, like fear, regret, anger, pessimism, hopelessness, depression, God forbid, you're not going to be a healthy person. You're not going to be able to create success for yourself in the same way as a person who's living in passion and joy and freedom and love and empowerment and gratitude. Emotional control, I define emotional control as when you fall into unhealthy emotions, which we all do sometimes, and sometimes we actually need to access these other emotions as part of the healing process. But when we fall in these other emotional states of being, are we able to get ourselves back into higher emotional states of being? The more able you are to do that, the higher your emotional intelligence, and the more healthy you are going to be and able to create success in your interpersonal relationships, in your job, in every aspect of your life. Okay? There are essentially four foundational forms of intelligence. Self-intelligence and emotional intelligence are the first two. The third one is what I call healing intelligence, which quite simply is, do you have the ability to heal your mental and emotional traumas? We all suffer mental and emotional traumas. Those of you who know me or who have watched other of these live events or read my ebook know that I'm very honest about the fact that I have suffered a tremendous amount of mental and emotional trauma myself over the course of my life, whether it was career-ending car accident, or dealing with the fallout from bipolar disorder and what that was doing to my life when I was younger before I had it under control. So we all have, to varying degrees, different mental and emotional traumas that we suffer, and how high our healing intelligence is determined by whether or not we are able to heal our mental and emotional traumas. Oh, thank you so much for the question. Imatana asked, if I live in a low emotional level, how do I change it? Oh, what a great question. It's so cool because emotional intelligence really isn't that complicated. You live in a lower emotional state of being, like pessimism or regret or fear or anger. Do something that causes you to feel a higher emotional state of being. Do something that causes you to feel passionate. Do something that causes you to feel loving. Do something that causes you to feel empowered and free and intelligent and grateful. And that will transform your emotional state of being from a low level to a high level. And if every time you feel these unhealthy emotional states of being and you don't feel good, you do something that transforms your emotional state of being into higher emotions, you will train yourself to live in higher emotions most of the time. You will develop excellent emotional control. You will obviously therefore have amazing emotional intelligence, and this will dramatically increase your level of health and your level of success. Getting back quickly to the healing intelligence, just to make sure I wrap that up. You have mental and emotional traumas. We all do. You have to figure out one way or another how to get those healed. I'm an expert in healing trauma. I've helped people all over the world heal even very big traumas. It's not the easiest thing to do. If you have some big traumas you need to heal, you're welcome to contact me about that. We can talk about getting you some help there. So the list goes on and on. These are the first 3 of 9 forms of intelligence that combined define and make up intuitive IQ. The fourth one, which is the fourth foundational form of intelligence, is your health intelligence, which simply is your diet and exercise routine. Do you have a healthy diet and exercise routine, or don't you? If you're not getting the right food in your system, if you're not getting the right amount of exercise, I was talking to someone earlier today, if you're not getting enough sun, if you're not getting enough vitamin D, there are so many factors that go into how well your brain works, how much energy you have, and the better your diet and exercise routine is and the better you feel, the higher your health intelligence, and the more healthy you'll be and the more successful you will be. Well, I'm going to keep talking about all these I'm going to keep talking about these different forms of intelligence that make up intuitive IQ. That's what we're doing here. Mike Rose, don't mean to come off serious or anything like that. I do take all this stuff seriously, but ultimately I have a lot of fun teaching this and talking about it. Um, and what we are talking about right now is what is intuitive IQ, and it is essentially 9 different forms of intelligence that everyone uses to create health and create success. I covered the first 4, which are self-intelligence, emotional intelligence, healing intelligence, and health intelligence. We now go into an intelligence which I call perception intelligence, which is if self-intelligence is essentially our perception of self, then perception intelligence is our perception of realities external to our self, like other people, experiences, humanity in general, life, death, those kinds of things. And the more healthy that we perceive those realities external to ourselves, the healthier we're going to be and the more able we're going to be to create success. Hey, thanks everyone for joining. I'd love to see some more questions here. If you have any questions about anything I'm saying, please ask. This is a Q&A. It's something to participate in. And yeah, any questions you ask me about me personally or about these forms of intelligence that I'm talking about, I'll be happy to answer them for you. Don't get too lost in this view behind me. I know it's not easy. If you see a whale jump, I won't blame you. Saw some earlier today. So next form of intelligence after perception is social intelligence. Yeah, incredibly important. We don't live alone in the world. We are social beings that live in a social environment. So our social intelligence is what gives us the ability to interact in a healthy way, in a successful way in interpersonal relationships, one-on-one, love relationships, as well as in a team environment. As always, the higher your level of social intelligence, the more healthy and the more successful you are going to be in your interpersonal relationships and in a team environment. We then have intuitive intelligence. There is such a thing as intuition. All the other animals have it. We have it as well. The thing about intuition with the other animals is they just have instinct and intuition because they don't have a complex thought process. But we have a complex thought process as well. Sometimes this gets in the way of our intuition, but nevertheless, our intuition is our internal knowing, our knowing that something is true or knowing that a certain reality exists without having to think about it. If you think about athletes that are performing at a high level, that are surfing big waves or skiing off of cliffs, or you think about other types of performers, or times in your life when you are doing things engaged in such a way that you don't have the ability to think, your intuition and your intuitive knowing of how to react and how to respond in the moment, that's coming from your intuition. And the stronger your intuition is, the more you feel that you know the answers to things and what to do at the right time, and this benefits you tremendously. You have your creative intelligence, and as you know, straight up, are you performing to your creative potential? I believe that we all have unique genius, and I believe that we are all incredibly creative people, some more than others, but we all have the ability to create and to create great things, and it's really a matter of, are we tapping into our creative ability or not? And last but not least is your strategic intelligence. You know, your strategic intelligence gives you the ability to create a strategic plan, implement a strategic plan, and you know, the better you are at creating and implementing strategic plans, really the more success you are going to achieve in your life and in your business. Well, I'm waiting for more questions here, but not seeing them. No big deal. This is an unannounced event. Just doing this again from the beautiful Terranea Resort in Palos Verdes. So I'm going to wrap this up now. I am Mike Rose for Intuitive IQ. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please check my timeline again soon. You will see me doing lots of these in the near future. And in the meantime, yeah, I encourage you to go to my website, intuitiveiq.com, for more info. Really, the best page to visit there is the blog page, because there's just a wealth of information there about all of these different forms of intelligence and how to create health and how to create success, and not just information, but methods as well. If you want to get a free copy of my ebook, just go ahead and subscribe at the site, and I'll send that to you. And last but not least, if you're interested in making huge positive changes to your life and your business very quickly, contact me at info@intuitiveiq.com or through the contact link at the site, and we will talk about potentially doing some consulting. All right, everyone, it's time for me to go check out the sunset, take some photos. I am Mike Rose for Intuitive IQ. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'm having a real blast doing these, and I'm truly grateful for your participation. Until next time, take care. Bye.